Good evening and welcome. I am Amarachi Ubani. Tonight, tension on the rise in Bayelsa State ahead of Saturday's governorship election as 3 people are feared killed at a PDP rally in Nembe local government area of the state. Bandits kill 3 policemen attached to Operation Safe Highways in a gun battle in Sanga local government area of Kaduna State. Federal government finance bill containing the controversial 7.5% value-added tax passes second reading in the House of Representatives. And the World Health Organization approves the world's first ever vaccine against Ebola disease.
On business news tonight, Treasury bills rates crashed to single digit following Central Bank of Nigeria's restriction on OMO bill investing amid record demand.
And on sports news tonight, Alima Otalowunle and Olaolu Olatunde win 200 meters finals in the second edition of the Channels Track and Field Championships.
And from Abuja, Senate approves refund of over 10 billion naira to the Kogi state government amidst stiff opposition by some members of the upper legislative chamber.
Three people are feared killed following violence that rocked the People's Democratic Party rally at Okolomabere in Nembe local government area of Bayelsa State today. It was gathered that some yet to be identified gunmen stormed the venue of the rally and began shooting indiscriminately. A driver of an OB van attached to the Bayelsa State-owned radio station, Simon Onu, was one of those said to have been shot dead. Earlier, some journalists and supporters of the PDP had made their way to Nembe Pasambre, where the APC deputy governorship candidate, Senator Degi Biobarakuma, hails from. They were, however, denied entry into the community, after which they moved to Okolomabere, a nearby community where they were greeted with violence that resulted in the death of 3 persons. Senator Biobarakuma was disqualified yesterday from participating in the election holding on Saturday by a federal high court in Abuja. Meanwhile, 3 policemen attached to Operation Safe Highways in Kaduna State have been killed by bandits during a gun battle in Sanga local government area of the state. The command's public relations officer, DSP Yakubu Sabo, who confirmed the incident in a statement, says the police operatives were deployed to Gwantu divisional area of Sanga local government area. They were ambushed by unknown gunmen while on patrol at Aboro village along Fadankarshi Nimbia forest in the local government on Tuesday. Mrs. Sambo explained that the gunmen opened fire on the patrol team through a thick bush in the opposite direction, killing 2 inspectors, Bobai Baturi and Daniel Dogo, as well as Sergeant Maman Amadou. According to the police spokesperson, reinforcements have since been deployed to the area to ensure that the culprits are apprehended and brought to justice. More on security. The Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Tuku Buratai, wants the Northeast Development Commission to repair some of the federal roads in the Northeast for smooth counter-insurgency operations. During a courtesy visit on the board of the commission in Abuja, General Buratai also asked for assistance in the rebuilding of the Nigerian Army barracks in Mungono and Bama. General Buratai explains that the poor state of infrastructure is hindering the war against Boko Haram insurgents.
One of these major roads which straddles, from the northern part of Borno up through Sambisa and to the border with Cameroon through part of Adamawa is the Damboa, Chibok and Askira roads, which link up to that other road that links into the Mandara Mountains, as well as comes back into Goza, Maiduguri, Bama, Maiduguri axis. That particular road, the Damboa, Chibok, Askira, is critical and strategic to our ongoing counter-insurgency operations. In order of priority, I think that one is very important. Then secondly, is the Maiduguri, Monguno, up to Malamfatori. This is another strategic road which, to a certain extent, the road stops at Monguno, but it doesn't go beyond Monguno up to Malamfatori. If that road is fixed, it will help us greatly, and it will even bring back the economic activities and return of the individuals, persons that have been displaced, and indeed our refugees that are across in the Niger Republic especially, and even Cameroon.
Let's further examine the security challenges in the country, especially in the northeast, in light of requests from the Chief of Army Staff. We're now being joined live from our Abuja studio by security analyst Mr. Amechi Nwokolo. Mr. Nwokolo, thank you for joining us on the News at 10. Let's begin with the news of 3 policemen killed by the gunmen in Kaduna. How could such have happened? I mean, bandits overpowering armed security teams on tour of duty.
Thank you for having me. Unfortunately, that's the situation we found ourselves now. It's become so very disheartening, and even in Abuja here during the course of the week, last week, in the front of one of the topmost security outfits, their estate, they picked up some people, one of their staffs and one of their family members, kidnappers here in Abuja, just last week here. So it's very worrisome, the situation we have found ourselves right now.
Then what should be the best way to police the highways to avoid attacks like this? Today's security operatives, and I'm sure that many Nigerians are also living and plying the highways in fear of being attacked by these bandits.
Yeah, I think from one of the things that the president mentioned some time ago when he talked about using unmanned drones on our ways, although he mentioned CCTV specifically, which I don't think will be possible now because of our not having the necessary infrastructure on the roads. But we can use unmanned drones for now. And 2, we can also work with the communities around these places, because I tell you what, it will be very difficult for us as it is because of the level of our development, the kind of development we have around. It's going to seriously be a little bit impossible for now, the way things are going or the way things are. So we need our security service and our security personnel must work with the communities around that place. And then we must use modern equipment, modern technology, to be able to cope these things if we are to go forward.
With regard to the request by the Chief of Army Staff for access roads, he says are critical in the fight against terror. Do you consider this really crucial in the strategies required in this fight?
Well, unfortunately, I don't think so, but I wouldn't know why he is alluding to that, until that for us to be, although he mentioned something in the later part of that statement talking about the economic access for economic purpose, but if it is to curb down the conflict and to be able to tackle this conflict by our security forces, by the military, I don't think that is very necessary now, because I know our hardwares, our tanks should be able to go through any terrain, any place, and our military forces are trained very well to be able to adapt to any situation. These guys don't need a well-tarred road in order to cause carnage or to attack us. So I don't think that is what is really necessary as it is now.
I do agree with you, because the military has received a lot of training concerning this, and I want to believe that they have the more technical know-how and more strategies to beat the bandits and insurgents. But are there ways that that technology can be redeployed to circumvent hurdles posed by a lack of access roads to identify locations of terrorists? And if so, why is that not being applied?
Well, like I said, and as you have also alluded to, I don't know why the chief of... I think from the look of things, the man himself seems to be tired now. For those that have been calling for the change of the arrowhead of the top brass of our security forces, I think it is about time the president will listen to that. For me, it appears the man is getting tired now, and so probably running out of ideas right now. But I know that our military is trained to be able to circumvent, to be able to adapt to any situation, anywhere they find themselves. You don't fight war on very well-built expressway and all that. So wherever, and these guys do not come to attack us via very good expressways. So we need to be able to adapt to whatever situation they can adapt to in order to cope them or in order to destroy them.
Do you think there could be a lack of synergy between security agencies, and how best can they work together? Because it does appear that the military are bearing the burden of securing these areas. There's no mention of police or other security paraphernalia.
Yes, the issue of synergy has been overflogged and is still there, and we can see it raises its face in most circumstances, but something so many people don't want to talk about, and even those that are within the structure. So we must think Nigeria first. We must work for the purpose of one nation, to be able to, that Nigeria at last will be the winner, not our services or what we stand to gain. So the issue of synergy is a very, very vital thing for any nation, security forces of any nation to defeat terrorist gang or defeat a common enemy. So I think we've been saying this thing for a very long time, and we must, as a nation, confront this issue and try to work together so that Nigeria can be safe and Nigerians can be safe as well.
And that is the goal for everyone, to be safe. Thank you again, Mr. Amechi Nwokolo, for speaking with us on the News at 10.
Thank you very much.
In part two, after the break, a court fixes November 20th to hear a suit filed by the Police Service Commission challenging the powers of the Inspector General of Police to recruit constables into the force. Stay with us.